Welcome back to Politics as Usual, episode 88, the Playmaker episode. Sorry we're so late. Fee was having some issues. I was eating chicken wings. Joe was in the fucking car. Ronnie was the only nigga that was right. I had to go wash the spices from the Henny sauce out my damn eyes because the shit's had me tearing up. But yeah, man, we back. How was everyone's week?
As always, I'm glad that is over.
I mean, you finna be free soon to another level of stress, but you finna be free soon.
Yeah, just a higher level of stress, so that's not any better. Yeah,
comes with a higher amount of money each paycheck too.
More money, more problems.
Joe is in the car. As you can tell, he is back from his top secret government mission that he was. Nigga, where are you going?
Top Golf.
Oh, well. Joe is dedicated. This is the second episode this nigga's joined us from car.
Hey, man.
Fee is here. What's going on, brother?
Ain't shit, man. I'm just here.
Ready
to get into the hot topic of the day, man. Get these fucking takes off.
Oh, you talking about Mr. Duckworth's album?
Yeah, Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper.
After a what is it? A 4-year absence?
It's 5, I think. Yeah, it's even longer. Than
yeah, the damn drop in 2017.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that was when I first moved to Atlanta. Yeah, no wonder I remember that. That was a bad time. Yeah. So Kendrick, after a 5-year absence, finally dropped his long-awaited follow-up to "Damn," Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Joe, did you listen to it?
Nah, I got to be in the right headspace to listen to that the way y'all was talking about it.
I don't even know if you need to be in the right headspace. You might just not want to listen to it.
You just might not. Yeah, you just
Damn.
Yeah,
you might just say fuck it.
you got drink in your cup right now. The sun's shining. You don't need to listen. To
yeah.
Don't Top Golf. Yeah, you don't need to be listening to Auntie's Diaries.
Yeah,
you don't need that in your life.
Don't ruin you.
Man.
There's a take I need to get off
Kendrick,
about that.
Kendrick is different for me than it is for y'all. So,
nigga, no, it's about the same now.
No. Yeah, nobody knows what's in my cup.
Oh, Joe got a guest in the car. The nigga doing the show. God damn.
This nigga's
man. Brooke here.
Hey, Brooke, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
I ain't even know. We just over here talking this shit. Nigga got a guest in the car. Ain't tell nobody. But yeah, what's everyone's initial thoughts outside of Joe who didn't listen to it?
Shouldn't have been a double album. The first this one is trash. There's about 2 or 3 good songs on there.
Yeah.
This 2, I actually think this 2 was flawless. I cannot lie. Like those tracks, I liked every single one of those tracks. I don't really have a complaint except for the Hotep bars on there that AJ pointed out. But other than that, I fuck with this 2. I don't understand. Unless he was under a contractual obligation to get out for TDE, I don't understand why he put out a double disc because one disc was mid. Like it.
So he did the double. Ronnie, go ahead before I get off into, or are you going to address the fact that it's a concept album?
Yeah, so I'll get into that too. So to mirror with what he said, I do like the latter half of the album. The first half of the album, regardless whether or not it's a concept album, we really don't need it because you could still get that concept across by shaving 4 of those tracks and just having like a 10, 12 track album. But yeah, he clearly has a lot of things to say. A lot of shit I don't want to hear though. I mean, a lot of Hotep bars, but at the same time, like this is a very interesting album. Like the first time I listened to it, I was like, I don't know what to feel about this. And I typically can make my mind up, but I revisited it again. And there are certain tracks where I'm like, okay, like I really like what you did with this. And I guess quick rant, like real quick. So Kendrick does something interesting, and I know like it is kind of jarring for a lot of people. He likes to play with form a lot. So he'll take a song, and instead of setting the song up in like typical, like verse hook format, he'll do something where he'll like set it up as like a scene of a movie, and it'll just be like a conversation, but he's rapping or something. And I know that's like jarring for a lot of people, but I actually enjoy when he's doing that because he's like challenging like that typical song format and like trying to do something new. A lot of things don't work, but at the same time, like a lot of the risks that he take on this album, it actually pays off. But to close it out, um, like it's good. I don't love it, but it's at least it's good. I like it. I like it. I like it way more than damn. But I'm not in love with it by any stretch of imagination.
Oh, you going there? Because this shit below damn for me.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Nah. I went back through Kendrick's discography this week just to kind of prep myself for this, so I could like be like, okay, where do I sit everything? And I mean, Section 80 is still my favorite project. We're never getting that Kendrick again. But so this album is a concept where the first half is about working through trauma and grief, and then the second half is about healing that trauma and grief. The first half is very jarring to listen to, but that shit is ass. Like I'm sorry, that shit is. It's a 2-pack of ass. I'm sorry, like that shit is. To quote Joe backstage side. To quote Joe, that shit is dirt. That shit is complete dirt. That shit is dirtier than Pigpen. That shit is nah. There's a track called "We Cry Together," where Kendrick and Taylor Page are kind of rapping back and forth in an argument. And I sat and listened to that song, and there's a joint off Overly Dedicated where he's talking about like hurting his girl. And I'm like, this was much better on that. Like, I didn't need this. Like, I get it. There's a lot of allusions to his personal life on here. He and his fiance or wife, what they've been dealing with and the shit that he put her through. But it's just like, I didn't need this. Like this album wasn't necessary. And even the back half, like the good shit is destroyed by the fact that you rapping Hotep bars on here. Like there's a song where this nigga says, I caught COVID and started questioning Kyrie. What are you going through in your life that you are actually Kyrie's a big enough influence on you that you are questioning whether or not he's right? Because Kyrie's the biggest space cadet known to man. I'm not listening to nothing this nigga Kyrie has. Like, can you imagine just laying in bed, COVID ravaging your insides, and you like, damn, should I have listened to this nigga Kyrie? Like,
bro, like a nigga who is losing his Nike deal. Like that's the nigga you taking advice from.
A nigga who the Nets was like, yeah, we need people to be available. We need you to actually be. Kyrie is a basketball offensive savant. Ain't nobody taking that away from him. But nigga, why would you say, like, why would you admit that? Even if I had a moment of weakness where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to Kyrie, or I'm not getting on wax and admitting that for millions of people. I'm not telling nobody I listen to Kyrie Irving.
This nigga really laying in the bed, like sweating, like coughing, and say, Kyrie, why have you forsaken me? Like,
lungs in shambles. Lungs in shambles. Like, damn, nigga, I had to question Kyrie.
Like looking at that picture, like Dexter, like they had Dexter with the locker open. This nigga looking at Kyrie like, Kyrie, I should have listened. Like, come on, man.
Like this nigga has a wonderful family, two beautiful children. You putting their lives at risk listening to Kyrie
Irving. Who is going to reveal in 10 years that he was vaccinated the whole time? He just wanted to like shake some shit up or something like that. Like Kyrie is a fucking goofball,
man. We can't even hear what the fuck you saying, bro. But nah, man, like what? Like, huh? Why would you do that to yourself? I just my dude Nick on Twitter, man, he pointed it out early. He said, I think I've just reached the point with Kendrick where I don't need any more of his music, and he had a good run. And I think that's a very important stage to reach with artists is to realize I don't need to, like Tyler the Creator was talking about, people kept asking him to go back to some of his earlier shit. And he like, well, just go listen to the earlier shit. It's right there.
Yeah.
You don't need me to rap my earlier shit because you got my earlier shit. Hey, nah, Lee is right. Baby Keem stinks. That nigga stinks.
Hey, he does stink, but I did like him on the Savior intro.
Yeah, I was about to say I actually don't mind it, and
I didn't mind him on the Savior interlude. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like, okay, Baby Keem, you ain't fucked this up. And let me get this off because I was on Facebook scrolling, and I always do this when new music comes out here. So one of these guys I went to school with, he's a rapper. He's a really good rapper. I listen to his music all the time.
Who, P?
P? Yeah, I'm gonna read his post that he made, and it's what made me make my post on
that dude is
Twitter.
he nice too. Like I ain't gonna hold that nigga is nice.
He said,
"Hey, he don't want to put you in the Bow family back in the day."
Yes. He was like, "Hey, we gotta stop treating people like they dumb for not liking Kendrick shit, y'all. Y'all be saying dumb shit too." So that and I tweeted, it always seemed to be the niggas who were afraid to read out loud in the class telling somebody they don't have the IQ to understand the album. Because I seen stupid niggas in the comments telling people that every time a high IQ album drops, that it gets hate. Like, nigga, there's nothing high IQ about
Nothing.
this. Like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole is not high IQ music. Like I don't have to pull out a dictionary. I don't have to pull it. So I don't spend my time with my hand on my chin pondering what they're talking about. Like it's not that fucking deep, bro. And that shit just pisses me off that because you're fucking stupid and it puts you in deep thought that I'm not intelligent or I don't get the bars. Like, nigga, I get the bars. It's like he's cool. The second half of the album is like a 6.5 out of 10 because there's like a couple tracks on the first part that I fuck with, and I fuck with all the back. But
here's my thing, and I made this point to Lee earlier. Shouts to Lee, who actually is you actually do need to like understand some shit to like hear some of the shit that Lee be talking about. But I said earlier, Kendrick's whole class, him, Cole, Wale, Drake, their rise is partly attributed to coming out of that snap era of people wanting to be able to say, well, yeah, you know, I'm different. I like lyrics. I listen to Cole. I listen to Drake. I listen to Kendrick. I listen to Wale. Ain't none of them, like Kendrick has had moments. Tell Neff I said what's up. But like Kendrick has had moments where he has been like unbelievable. This ain't one of them.
Yeah.
Like this album, like lyrically, conceptually, this is his worst. There's nothing about this that is like high level that requires any form of like thought to understand. Like nothing about this. Section 80 is deeper. Good Kid, Mad City is deeper. To Pimp a Butterfly is way deeper. Damn is deeper than this, and Damn is just surface level shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say thematically, like this is like his most aside from Good Kid, Mad City, because like that's like really straightforward. But this is his most straightforward album, like thematically. Like he is literally telling you along the way what I'm talking about. Like he's telegraphing it. So this doesn't require any deep thought. And to also mirror your to echo your point, my bad. Like I think I'm the biggest Kendrick fan here, but to me, like if we are to do like I guess a rapper like report card on him, like his highs are like technical ability, storytelling, but when it comes to the lyricism, like he's not really like an alien like that. Like and he's never been, and that's okay though. But he's like I think I saw Lee say earlier, like yeah, don't compare
him to Lupe. Don't compare him to Lupe.
Lupe is on a different planet now. All around as an all around rapper, like Kendrick is like at the top of his game when he's like really rapping. But when it comes to like just lyricism, like just stringing words together, like wordplay, metaphors, like yeah,
that's not him.
Kendrick's not really an alien like that.
Kendrick is closer to Royce than he is to Lupe. Like he's closer to that Royce Eminem tree of technical ability, rhyme schemes, and they'll give you some bars here or there. But Kendrick ain't making mural. He's not making failure. He's not making those, and that's okay. Ain't nobody asking him to make those. He does what he does, but to sit and insult people, like, if you're gonna compare anybody from TDE, and I know this is Kendrick's last album on TDE, so he ain't really TDE no more. If you're gonna compare anybody in TDE to Kendrick, to Lupe, it's Ab-Soul. Like, that's not even a stretch. Like, Lupe himself has said that. Like, that's who he's had featured on project. He's featured for Ab-Soul. Like, that's like from his branch of the tree. Kendrick is not that, and that just shows me that motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Like,
from like a standpoint of him singing.
Let me say this real quick, Fee. Like, I'm gonna be real quick. Like I just said, I'm like probably like the biggest Kendrick fan here. But I remember one time saying like, I actually think Schoolboy Q is a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar. Like, when it comes to like technical ability, when it comes to like just I think Q is actually a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar. But at the same time, like, Kendrick just like is a better all around artist and makes better music. Like, so there's
I don't know if I agree with you there. I kind of have it as the inverse. I like Q's music, like Habits and Contradictions. Like, I will listen to it just straight. Like, I can ride to blankly Habits and Contradictions. I don't really do that with none of Kendrick's music. So that's. I
really like Q, but I'm saying, like, if you listen to like how Q like does like his wordplay, like if, go back and listen to like Blank Face LP, like this man is really rapping. But thing is, like, I think he's hamstrung by like the content, which Kendrick is too. But I think because his content, people are like, oh, like let's pay Q no mind. But when it comes to like rapping, like, I actually think Q is like a hair above Kendrick.
Well, I think people confuse like you stuffing a whole bunch of words into your bars as lyricism. Like, people thinks that is what is the basis of lyricism. Like, that's why they have like people like Eminem, Kendrick, and Royce like so high up. And it's not to say that they're not lyrical, but that's not the fucking pinnacle of lyricism. Just because
it's technique.
Yeah,
like, that's technique. Yeah.
So I think that's where people get it confused. Like, hey, look, man, I'm not trying to hear you put a whole bunch of words in one line and ramble. Like, I think he starts off on N95, and I'm like, yo, why are you so off beat? And why do you have so many fucking words in these bars, bro? Like what is this? Like, Ghostface, why is Ghostface coming on here off beat? Why do you have Summer Love?
Ghostface sounding like Fat Joe. I had to look. I was like, is Fat Joe on here? And I look and see it was Ghostface. I'm like, this don't sound like Ghostface.
Yeah, Pretty Tony let me down, man. Tony Starks let me down.
I seen a track list for that. I said, man, Ghostface on here. I said, cool. I'm looking forward to this. I heard the beat, and I'm like, okay, I can see Ghostface coming in on this. Then I heard the song. I'm like, hey, why? Why is Ghostface on this?
So one of the things, like, just to like go from macro level to kind of micro level, like diving into something, like I'm not gonna dive into nothing on the first half. Like, Father Time was cool, but other than that, the things that stood out to me were Kodak being featured, Auntie's Diary, and Mother Eye Sober. And the reason those things stood out to me was because Kodak and Mother Eye Sober are connected in that. Listen to Mother Eye Sober. The content of the song is basically about Kendrick dealing with the trauma of being questioned by, did his cousin touch him inappropriately? And hold on, Lee said this album felt like the rap equivalent of Dave Chappelle doing the of whatever Dave Chappelle is doing these days thematically. That's a perfect fucking analogy. That's a perfect.
That's where I was going with this. Yeah.
Where you were someone beloved is just off the fucking rails, and it's like, dog, and all the quote unquote free thinkers are like, yeah, he's doing like, nah. But we'll get back to that. So on Mother Eye Sober, he's dealing with the fallout of being questioned by his mom. Did his cousin touch him? And he's like, no. And he's answering honestly, but he finds out as he gets older, like, something happened to his mother. And so she's trying to make sure it didn't happen to him, because his loner and withdrawn behavior made her feel like, okay, well, maybe something happened to him. And you get into that song, and like towards the end of it, he starts breaking down, talking about, you know, the genetic trauma that can be passed on from what slave owners did to black women, to what black men have done to black women, to what black people have done to each other. And it hit me. Oh, that's why you got Kodak on here. Because you're trying to say that, because there's some R. Kelly and Weinstein bars on here where you like,
yeah,
that didn't need to be on here. Now, in context, it's not as bad as what the raw lyrics say, but it's like that ain't need to be on here. But it's like you're trying to do that super smart thing of being like, well, yeah, man, you know, Kodak's not a bad guy. It's just the genetic trauma that's been No, he is a bad guy.
He's a terrible guy.
He pled guilty to holding an underage girl in a hotel and repeatedly sexually assaulting her. This isn't a good person. Like, I don't care what the circumstances said. There's plenty of people that's been from his circumstances that ain't did what the fuck that he did. That's the minority. So if you want to try to excuse that, excuse it. But he don't need to be on this fucking album, especially if you sitting up trying to say that you all right, Joe. Especially if you sitting up trying to say that you an ally to black women and all that. And so, and then the other thing, like someone brought this up with Auntie's Diary, where Kendrick he's dead naming, he's misusing pronouns, all these things that are not kosher for people in the LGBT community, particularly transgender people. And he's talking about his aunt who basically was a man, to use his words. These are Kendrick's words. My auntie became a man. He's talking about his cousin who actually went through the surgery and transition, and he's talking about a struggle with Christianity and standing up to that. You know, does his cousin who was a loyal Christian versus him standing up for his cousin in the church? And someone pointed out that like Kendrick's trying to reach people who don't know what dead naming is, who don't know what misgendering is. He's trying to reach like niggas, but to not like talk down on people, on queer people, on people in the LGBT community who look at that song and it's like, you still doing foul shit. Like, it's a two-sided coin. It's like, yeah, I see what they saying. You misgendered, you dead named, you did all this shit. But I also see what they saying in that he's trying to reach people who don't know any of this shit. People who aren't on Twitter, who aren't in the echo chamber, who are like, they don't know nothing about this shit, and that's how they talk. And he's trying to reach them where they are. So even though I think this album is fucking trash, well, I ain't gonna say trash. I think the album was dirt. It's not good.
So dirt is above trash.
Yeah, dirt is above trash. Like dirt is slightly above trash. Like dirt is of the earth. Trash is man-made. You don't want man-made trash. Like, think about this. Would you rather step barefoot in like some random outside dirt or barefoot in the dumpster? I'm gonna step barefoot in the dirt before I step barefoot in the dumpster.
Yeah, okay.
But it's not good. But I see what he was trying to do, but the execution on this shit is terrible. Joe Hova says the problem with that is you can't convey it well enough in a song. If he wants to discuss stuff like that, you actually have to have conversations with those people. Yes, eloquently put, Joe. Like that.
Yeah, because Kendrick also does this often, much to my chagrin, because he also did it on a track on To Pimp a Butterfly, where he's articulating his point, right? And he gets right to the end, and he says some shit where you're like, wait, you talking
about King Kunta? You talking about King Kunta?
Not even King Kunta. Black of the Berry.
Which one?
Where he was like, I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2015. And then he's basically saying,
oh yeah, that is Black of the Berry. That's the song I'm thinking of. Gangbanging make me kill a nigga, black and exactly. Hypocrite. And it's like
so at the end of Auntie's Diary, he says some shit where you're like,
he basically says,
did you really need that?
He's trying to draw a parallel to him being young and him and his friends using the other F word.
Yeah.
And him stopping a white girl from saying nigga on stage when she came up to rap his song, and it's like, that's not the same, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you are getting your point across. No one to get in and get out. but much to your point, AJ, I think like your points about dead naming and misgendering are perfect. But like you said, this song isn't for the people who are basically entrenched in that community who know the rules. This song is for those who don't know that, like, hey, she wants to be called her now. Like, it's for those people. So I do think in that, like, I do see where he was trying to go with that. But once again, like, he'll make an excellent point, and then he'll say some goofy shit that make you be like, did we really need that part?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I like I said, I'm just at the point now. It's like I could never listen to another Kendrick song and I'd be perfectly okay.
Yeah. Let me close out on this too. Like, Kendrick is my favorite rapper of all time. He's given us, and my favorite group of all time is Outkast. He's given us a catalog where if he decides like tomorrow he never wants to release new music, I am fine with it. I'm cool with it because he admitted himself he like really has, like, he had writer's block. And
For 2 years.
another thing that stood out to me is this album has like hella writing credits.
You don't think it's for the sampling? Was it a lot of
No,
sampling?
no, some of it's for the sampling, but Sam Do, who was on Love Hate Thing, he's on every song. He has a writer's credit on every single song. So this album has like hella writers credits. So at the same time, like Kendrick, I want you to preserve your legacy. Like, you have nothing more you have to say to us. Like, we're good.
If he would have left off at Damn, I think we would have been having a conversation. Because I don't love Damn, but I understand Damn. And if you're a Linkin Park fan, you'll get what I mean. It's Minutes to Midnight of Kendrick's catalog, where it's not the most beloved, but when I look back on Minutes to Midnight 15 years later, it's probably the album that aged the best of Linkin Park's. Because it's not doing anything special. It's just regular ass rock music.
Yeah.
Fee, you got anything to close out on that?
Earlier, I asked because one of my homeboys, Drew, he was talking about this album. He's like, "Man, this is fire," and I was just like,
Drew loves Dave Chappelle, so that's a good parallel. Just for outsiders who don't know.
So I'm gonna try to find the conversation. Oh, I'm on the wrong track. So I asked him like, "Why do you love this?" Because like, I just don't see it. So, what did he say? He said masculine vulnerability. I classify it as broadly introspective, particularly Father Time. And I was like, bro, I get it, but to me, it's like fake. It's like fake deep. Like it's like 3 feet in the pool, like the water coming up to your knees. It's not as deep as people make it seem to me. And has always been I think my problem more so with the stuff is the response people get to the music, and it only happens with him and J. Cole. Like, these are the only people where the fans make it like it's the deepest shit in the world, and it's just not. Like, I don't see it. Like, I can understand maybe what you see in them, but it's the same burger over and over. Like, you're not doing nothing special with this burger.
Yeah, that brings me to like one final point I want to make, like, to kind of like piggyback of what you said. What does that say about rap, like, at large, if the moment a rapper becomes like introspective and like just like bears their soul, like just the smallest amount, people automatically label that deep? Like what does that say about people's perception of rap? That like doing something that is like acceptable in like other genres across the board, like all of a sudden, like, this is deep.
Well, so here's what I'll say to this. And this is something that pissed me off about Post Malone's comments when he talked about there's no introspective or vulnerable. Like, when you want to feel something, you go listen to shit other than rap. I don't listen to this dude anymore because he's also done shitty things.
Oh, but yeah.
Joe Budden's like least vulnerable shit is like 10 times more vulnerable and introspective than what this album was.
Yeah.
Like, go listen to Mood Music 2 and go listen to just the Joe Budden album. Like when he's talking about walk with me, 10 minutes. 10 minutes is one of the most introspective hip hop songs I've ever heard. There's probably some way more. Scarface, much more introspective and vulnerable. Drake it's shallow, but Drake, Fonte, like
Starlito, Don Tripp, there's plenty, but people, I don't know if you're looking for that, there's more places to go than mainstream rap.
Far more. And it's not like I can't say what Kendrick did was not introspective and it wasn't vulnerable, but it was it wasn't well organized and it was ugly. Like the first part, like the first half of this, the first quote unquote disc of this album is very introspective and it's very vulnerable, but it's ugly. Like I talked about this on Rod for Short's podcast when he made a joke that, because I vault all music that I make, and he says someone's gonna find a hard drive of my music after I die, and I'm gonna be like the first rapper ever who gets famous after I die because somebody found my shit and they're like, oh damn, this is. But I said like one of the reasons I haven't really released music is because the shit that I've written is so ugly. And it's not really meant for human consumption. It's meant for me. It's cathartic. I listen to the shit. I can rap it and listen to the shit and be fine. But it's not meant for everybody to hear. And not only that, if you know my story, a lot of this shit is aimed at one particular person. And I don't want that person, if I was to release this and this shit where people were to listen to this, for them to ever get like a one-sided story because it's not balanced enough. So there's a way to be introspective and have depth and be vulnerable without it being so ugly and raw. And I guess there's beauty in that, but that's not what we come to expect from him. Lee got a couple comments. Lee says, I think what pissed me off most was his BS rise above its stance and activism. You can't go back and retrospectively fix your inaction in 2020. Very true. Then he says, J. Cole saw George Floyd die and thought about correcting a black woman's tone. Kendrick saw it and thought about himself. That says a lot about the state of hip hop today. Yes, that's a very beautiful way to put kind of what we're saying into like, these are very selfish. This is selfish activism. Even when you look at Mother I Sober, what he's talking about is very and that's okay. You can be selfish in your vulnerability. There's no nuance to it. It's not balanced. It's very one-sided and it's very ugly, and it's not the best way to get this to come across. And if this is your first exposure to vulnerable and introspective hip hop, go find some other shit. Like again, Scarface, the Mood Music shit from Button, Starlito, Don Tripp. You can find a bunch more introspective things. Mac Miller, Swimming in Circles, like that's
like I mentioned earlier. My man Westside Boogie who's dropped another album.
Yeah, Westside Boogie.
Go listen to Everything's for Sale. Like
I even think that, and Ron, I saw you post this early in the group chat. I didn't get a chance to respond, but it's a dead ripoff of what IDK did last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A dead ripoff from like start to finish. Like once you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, this is.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh,
Stop His Care for Me. Yes. And that again is an ugly looking, but it's balanced. It's ugly, but it's balanced. But IDK's
you see for yourself. Yeah.
Chuck brought that up. And I said like the biggest difference being, and this isn't to belittle what Kendrick's trauma was. IDK's trauma came from it happening to him. Kendrick's trauma came from being asked about it. Like this again is like, I don't mind him, talking about how this affected him, but he centered himself when there's a much more interesting story there. And like what happened with your mom, like you brought up the things that happened with your mom, but you only bringing it up from your perspective. Again, that's cool, but that ain't really vulnerability or depth. You're just kind of showing us how this impacted you, and that's okay. But to try to make this out to be some kind of groundbreaking moment, it's like when 444 came out and people are like, yeah, finally some grown man rap, and it's like, yo, what the fuck Fonte been doing for the past few years? Like go listen to Charity Starts at Home or No News is Good News, which came out after 444. Go listen to those. That's grown man rap right there. Like that nigga's talking about like Expensive Jeans is a song that like
Yeah.
black men particularly need to hear. It's we have to I get like it's landmark when somebody in the mainstream does it, but we have to also like recognize this shit has been here. Like let's not sit here and just look at when the big artist does it. Let's actually go ahead and look at when people have done it before and point people to like, because if you actually like this, there's much better. Like to me, if you enjoy this album, the ugliness, the rawness, the vulnerability of it, you could listen to Mood Music too.
Yeah.
Just being real.
Even this year, like go listen to the single that Conway did with Wallow, Stress. Like he is fucking bearing his soul on that. Like if that's what you want, go listen to that.
Yeah, there's plenty of it out here. Like it exists, and you can Care for Me again. If you enjoyed the first disc of this, you could listen to Care for Me, because Care for Me is a hard listen. Like I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've listened to Care for Me. I can get through it, but it's just like watching Logan on, and Lee, shut up because I know you have your beefs with Logan, but it's like watching Logan for me. I love that movie, but I can't watch that movie because
if you really like this album, Ramona Park broke my heart. I promise you.
Yes.
I promise you, it is better. The concepts are better. It is executed in a much better way. Like I really
and that ain't even
Vince's.
This ain't even Vince's most introspective album.
No.
Like Summertime 06 is more introspective than hell. I'd probably say Self-Titled is just as his self-titled album is probably just as introspective as this.
Yeah, and Summertime 06, he named that album because that's the year all of his friends died. So, but yeah, like you said, like if you want that, go listen to Ramona Park Broke My Heart. Well, once again, the way he structures the album, because he's talking about, when sparks fly, then you get Slide, then you get East Point Prayer. Like that's telling the complete story. But like when you listen to it, you're like, damn, he's actually taking me on a journey here. It's not like, it doesn't feel like, it's not like you're hearing bumps along the way.
Yeah,
and that's what I felt with this album a lot. Like there'll be times where like I'm like, damn, like this is an awkward stop. Like damn, you slammed on the brakes here or something.
Yeah. Also, shouts to the homie Brit. She's watching for the first time. She's cracking up at Lee in the comments, and I had to tell her Lee is always wilding in our comments. So shouts to her. Appreciate you watching. But yeah, like vulnerability in hip hop, it's not a widespread thing, but it's out there. It can be. Let go off on a slight tangent real quick. Anything that you want in hip hop can be found. There's somebody out there making the exact. We ain't got to take this to hip hop. Anything you want in Black American music can be found. There is somebody out there trying to say the exact thing that you are seeking. It's so easy to sit and record music. Hell, I recorded a whole fucking song between meetings at work a couple weeks ago. I put a snippet of it up. There's someone trying to say the exact thing that you're trying to say, that you want to hear, that you're seeking. There's somebody out there doing it. Go find that shit. Don't wait for the Kendricks and the Drakes and the Wales and the Coles and the Meek Mills and the Lil Babies and the Futures or whatever to say what the fuck it is. And if they make the kind of music that you like, by all means, go listen to that shit. But there's more of that shit out here than just the shit that is on, the fucking radio. Like we ain't gotta wait for that shit. Or you don't have I don't. You don't have to wait for that shit in order to be heard or be seen or what it is, the content that you're looking for. There's plenty of motherfuckers out here making really good music.
Yeah, like Ari the Rugged Man.
All right, man. Ain't nobody ever said Ari the Rugged Man was making really good music. Now you gotta relax.
Yeah.
Now you have to fucking relax. We got anything else on the Kendrick album?
No, I think that's it for the Kendrick album, man. Isn't it?
So, somebody dropped. I forget who it was. An Asian American writer. He dropped an interview he had with Chad Hugo of the Neptunes. Really good read. I'll go retweet it if you follow me on Twitter. But Also happens to be today, the 20th anniversary of the song and the beat that changed high school, middle school, school lunchrooms forever. Grinding by the Clips.
Like just
seminal
classic,
moment,
man.
Seminal moment in hip hop.
Yeah, just classic. Like it's not even a lot to say about it. It's just classic. I was gonna say this too, like because I went through the Clips catalog recently too. Like the Neptunes, the Neptunes as a whole, like they are a fantastic like producer group, but I really like their like reduced like lo-fi sound they did with the Clips, like where it's just like Hell Have No Fury, like the simplest beats, but at the same time just fire. Like
dog, that's Pharrell in general. Like as I've learned more about like production and playing piano, there's something so simplistic about like fronting.
Mm-hmm.
Fronting is just it's two chords. It's F major set. It's an F major 9 and a G major 9, which aren't even in the same key. You wouldn't know that unless you know a fucking scale. But it's the same fucking. It's two major 9 chords, a whole step apart, which doesn't exist. Those typically exist like a fourth apart. I'm being overly music theory right now, but it's so crazy. And then you don't get into like the real musical shit. So people know I'm a Lupe fan. One of the things, like my favorite loop, like there's Mural and then there's Failure. So Mural is just, hey, I'm going to change key every other bar. I'm going to just throw a bunch of just densely layered shit at you. Failure is, I'm going to play in the same key and then I'm going to hit you with an alter chord from a completely different key to take me out of key right before the chorus changes, but you're not going to know it. And that's masterful. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I love about fronting is like that bridge, like right before Jay comes in, that dun 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 dun. I recently learned how to play that, and I was like, so if you know music, most of y'all don't, but if you know music, all he's doing is playing. It's four minor 9 chords, like a major third apart. It's a B minor 9, a D minor 9, a F minor 9, and a C minor 9. But he's just playing like the first, the fifth, the eighth, and then the ninth right on top of that. And it's so simple, but it's so good. And like I was in reading that article, the reason I brought up that article is like people don't give Chad enough credit. Like Pharrell comes up with the bare bones of the production. Chad is the one who adds for Push said this. Chad adds the color. Like, so Pharrell will come up with the drum, he'll come up with the basic beat, and then Chad's the one who's adding like that synth layer on top, or that like Pharrell will be like, hey, I need a chord that sounds like this, and Chad will just play on the keyboard until he finds it. And like for as heralded as Pharrell is, like I really like in the article, Chad is talking about like finding, like going, like becoming a paralegal as a fallback plan. This man is just got inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He is half of one of the greatest production duos ever. And he's like, yeah, man, I think I might go to school to become a paralegal just to have a fallback plan. What?
Insane.
What? Like, dude, like he sits in at a random bar in Virginia Beach, just with a bunch of old dudes who he knew from like growing up, just playing like flute or saxophone or something. I forget which one it is, but he just sits in this random, just random big band. Oh, you read the article?
Yeah.
Just random big band section in a bar somewhere, like with a bunch of old dudes. like how insane is that?
Like, let me say this: if you want to know what Chad Hugo and solely Chad Hugo's production style is about, listen to the Kenna album, Loose Wires. I think it came out around like 2007, 2008. Fantastic fucking album. Like, say goodbye to love. Like, once you hear that, you will hear that Neptune sound, but you'll realize like, oh, there's actually Chad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Blair said, just came in, just wanted to say Kendrick's album is personally a mixed bag for me. I like aspects, but I feel like there's something about it that doesn't fully connect. Yeah, we kind of talked about that. Jehovah said, yeah, dude, he said he thought about working at Guitar Center. Yes. Chad Hugo was like,
he said just to like fucking play with all the different instruments. Like, that's some shit that a nigga like me would say. Like, oh yeah, I think I'll go fucking go down and work at Foot Locker because I love shoes. Like, I'll just go to Foot Locker so I can just get a plug on getting the shoes.
Yeah, like dog, like I like, and again, Pharrell is probably like one of my favorite producers of all time. Probably my favorite producer of all time. Like, just since I like got into like producing music, not just rapping. Like, there's something about what Pharrell does with just a couple of chords and the grooves that he's able to make. But Chad is so unheralded that it's just like, bro, like I forgot what they said exactly he did on Grinding, but like he added like, because Pharrell just came up with the basic drum thing and but like Chad added like the depth and and like, so if you heard the snippet I put out on my Twitter, there's something that's missing from that. Like, I kind of had the Pharrell part, I didn't do the drums, but I figured out how to make the drums go with what I was playing. But there's something missing to it. It's like, yeah, I probably could use someone like Chad who could hear that and be like, all right, yeah, we just gonna add a little layer here. But like, yeah, it's something crazy about a dude who's that fucking talented, but it's still that fucking humble. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know, dog. This shit might not be working. You played saxophone on The City Is Mine. Randomly. Hey, that shit's still fire. Shout out to our cousin Aaron Ray. That nigga sampled that shit. The original version, not the remix. Song called Changes with Kaylani. That shit came out 2 years ago, but that shit fire. Go listen to that shit. But it shout out to Chad Hugo, man. And shout out to the dude who found Chad Hugo to go interview him. Cause that's just like, who thinks to go interview Chad Hugo?
And the interview was so funny because he was like, yeah, I asked him a question. He'd be like, hey, play this guitar. Like, hey, try to play this right here. Not answering no question.
He just handed this nigga the guitar. Like, yeah, no. All you need is the F chord. Put your fingers right there. Like, the F chord, the chord that makes most people who try to pick up a guitar quit, unless you know how to do inversions. But like, the F chord is the one that breaks. Like, I remember the first time I tried to learn how to play guitar, I got to the F chord and was like, oh, fuck this. So I learned how to the way to actually play an F chord without having to contort your fingers like that. Like, that is just so funny. A nigga coming to interview you and you like, so yeah, man, pick up this guitar.
They say he'll like randomly just go walk out the room and then just come back with an instrument. Like, nigga left, like, and come back with a fucking saxophone. Like, bro, like what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, like niggas Blair said I love watching Neptune's behind the scenes videos. What was you about to say, Rod?
Yeah, I was about to say the best illustration of like their working relationship, like of course when this episode is over, go to YouTube and type in like Neptune's Midnight Hour, and they're in the studio making a song with the song was like never released, or I think it was given to a different artist. But Pharrell is in there singing, and then Chad is like just playing guitar, and then you see him hop on the keys, and like they make the song just like that, that.
Like, yeah,
and it's really beautiful to watch. Like you could tell that they're really like in sync with each other, and like Chad immediately looks at Pharrell like, okay, I know what to do with this.
Yeah, funny you said in sync because Blair said the Justified recording sessions are dope. Justified, of course, is Justin Timberlake's debut.
Cracker.
But
sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, man, like it's so wild to just sit and think about how those two dudes were just around so much dope. Like, can you just imagine being around like the swing mob in the early 90s? Like, just randomly,
like you in high school playing saxophone on a Teddy Riley song,
on a Jay-Z album.
Yeah.
Like, when I found that out, I was like, wait, that's Chad playing saxophone? Because I love The City Is Mine. Like, I know a lot of people don't like that. That's one of my favorite Jay records. This Chad,
it is. It's good.
Chad playing sax on that bitch. Like, huh? That's a thing. Pharrell, the S, the double, the U, double V. Like, and the more I learn about music, like, I think one of my favorite Neptune's productions is You Don't Have to Call.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's not the reason you think. Like, one, the song is dope, but
yeah,
there's just this off-center keyboard that's never landing on a beat at all. It's just like between the guitar riffs and and it's just like, but like the thing that strikes me when I listen to them is like, it's so simplistic. They don't ever do like all these, like outside of trap music, all these songs are so overproduced these days where there's 27 different layers of strings. And these niggas are like, nah, we just gonna do a guitar track, a drum, a couple bass notes here and there, and we gonna add some strings in on the chorus, and that's it. We gonna let that shit ride. Like that shit is fucking incredible, man. Shout out to the fucking Neptunes, man. Shout out to Chad Hugo. Don't go be a paralegal, my nigga. I promise you. The royalties are good forever, dog. Like, you know.
not to mention what's like slept on is their impact on like the fashion world, like streetwear and like in hip hop, like them niggas was really way ahead of their time. Like the way, like especially young kids are dressing now with like the Bathing Ape Supreme, all that shit, like all that stems from how them niggas were dressing back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I remember my little cousin was supposed to buy some baits from this nigga named Hustle Man. He had on the F-150 where he sold shoes, but he went down to if you know like Anna from Twitter, like she's from a town called Linden, and he went to Linden and they got robbed, so we never got the baits, man. It was gonna be the clear baits with the hustle. So shout out to Hustle Man.
Ain't Linden almost in Tennessee?
No, Linden is like right next to Demopolis.
Oh.
But yeah, shout out to Hustle Man.
That's Utah I'm thinking of.
No, Utah is right next to Demopolis too.
Nigga, it took me 2 hours to get to Utah. Ain't had no phone service.
Nigga, I don't know how. Utah is like an hour max.
Yeah, don't you just take 22 to get over there?
Oh no, you came there from Beham though, so that's about an hour and a half.
22 didn't exist back then.
Oh, that's probably why.
Now hold on, nigga, this shit is literally right next to fucking Mississippi, bro.
Yeah,
that's what I said. Ain't that shit almost?
Nah, you said Tennessee.
You said Tennessee.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, that's the alcohol. Yeah, you can't see.
Yeah,
man, you high, man.
Nigga, you know I don't smoke. Although I probably should, because given my kidney issues, I probably shouldn't drink as much as I do. Lee says my favorite thing about Pharrell is how he fleeced money out of Sony and Disney for the god awful Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Lion King 2019 scores. Just legendary. # Lee hates everything.
And he love it, bro. What do you mean? He loves that. He love that shit, bro.
Yeah, but he said the contract. I don't even remember the fucking contract. I'm all for Pharrell fleecing white people. I think the thing that hurt me the most about like learning about the Neptunes was the fact that they ain't really do Seeing Sounds, which is my favorite NERD album.
Oh no, don't tell me that.
Yeah, nah. This band called Spy Mob from Minnesota, they did all the instrumentation on the first one. What was it, In Search Of?
Mm-hmm.
They did all the instrumentation on that. They brought them niggas back. So like all the guitar solos, like the Neptunes did the keys and the drums and like some of the bass stuff, but like the guitar and like all the rockier shit that you hear, that's all Spy.
Okay.
That shit hurt my soul, man. I was like, damn, where the fuck is Spy Mob at? Like, because I've been wanting them to go back to that Seeing sound forever. Because that's the sound that like kind of got me into other genres.
Yeah.
Yeah. Album turns 15 next year.
Damn.
Hey, you know, actually, no, I think that album might turn 15 this year. Hold on, gotta look that up.
You know what? That might be I think that
was 07.
Yeah, that was 07.
No, it was 08. It was 08.
Okay.
Wait. Hold.
It came out of 08.
Yeah.
It came out January 1st, 2008.
Like,
no, Seeing Sounds came out June 10th.
Oh, I feel so old right now.
Yeah.
Like you really made me feel old, like right at this moment.
Hey, you know what turns 20 in November? Greatest music video of all time. To the world over. He's back. B Brown.
I know
you're getting bored dealing with it. Shit turns 20 in November. We having this. I'm going to get a Mike Vick jersey.
Are you gonna rent a helicopter?
Nah, I ain't doing that.
You got the means, bro.
Nigga, if I got the means, you can go in on it with me.
I don't want to be in the video, bro. What are you talking about?
Hey, nigga, you could be John. I'll be B Brown. Blair said Sing Sound was the first NERD album I listened to. I love the hell out of that shit in junior high. Yeah, nah, same. That was I heard my cousin talk about him, and I saw Seeing Sounds in Best Buy. I was like, fuck it, I'm buying this shit. And I was like, oh yeah, this nigga, I thought that shit was the greatest shit of all time when that shit dropped. It's still fire, but like outside of Killjoy is the only only song on that album that I have to skip immediately. Like that shit is ass.
No, I fuck with Killjoy.
You like that song?
No, I don't like Killjoy.
Yeah, I fuck with Killjoy, bro.
Killjoy.
But nah, sooner or later, it's definitely my favorite songs off of there. That shit, man. Woo.
My shit is Happy and Laugh About It. Them is my two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was also my other shit too.
Yeah.
That's my shit too off of there.
See, man, this shit is taking me back. I'm gonna have to spend that tonight.
And just so y'all know, they did a reprint of Sing Sounds on vinyl like last year. You probably find one for pretty cheap. A lot of people don't know that them hoes was reprinted. I'd have had so many people hit me up, ask me for my copy of Acid Rap I found on vinyl. I'm like, no, nigga, I just bought the shit. Speaking of, we get in on this. Did y'all see that trash ass Chance freestyle?
No, I've never seen people come together like this. People of all walks of life.
No, I didn't.
Everybody.
I missed it. The last freestyle I seen was that Bobby Schmurder shit. I was like, hey man,
hold on. I'll link you right now.
Bro, it was beautiful. People were united and calling this shit trash. Ain't nobody saying.
Chad, I put it in the group chat last night.
Yeah.
I said, boy, this shit is. Where did I post that shit? Because Ronnie said, boy, this shit is ass.
Man,
yeah, I said Chance the Rapper out here dropping straight dirt.
Oh yeah, I was on the phone when that came out. Yeah, when you posted that,
nigga, that shit is fucking cheeks, bruh. Me and Lee was both like, boy, this shit is ass. Like, listen, man, I know I was like among the first to be like, yeah, this shit. Oh, Blair said sooner or later is where he got a lot of his style from. Joe Hova said, I gave it 5 tomatoes out of 5, referring to the champ. I knew I was among the first to say that whenever the little shit he was on with Apple was gonna fall apart, he was gonna fall off. But nigga, I never expected this.
Hey, the first comment I see in this thread, this is as bad as that video too with underthrown Tyreek. Should have kept this one in the vault.
Dog, that shit is terrible.
It's terrible.
And he like quote bars like this shit is. It's like, no, nigga, this shit is dirt.
No. It's so bad.
That reminds me of a tweet I saw like at the start of the pit, like towards like the middle of when people were still in lockdown. And someone was like, hey man, shout out to Chance the Rapper for not dropping music lately. We've been through enough.
I didn't know it could get worse than the big day, but good God, it sure did.
Dog, that shit is ass. Like that literally is like some of the worst shit I've ever heard in my life. I'm trying to think of the worst rapper. Like that's like a tier above like a Benzino freestyle. Like if you had to make me choose between like listening to like that on a loop for 24 hours or a Benzino song, I'm taking the Chance freestyle, but not by much.
Not by much. Like I'm gonna have to think about it for a little while.
I'm a that shit is all full. Joe said it's time to start a dialogue. Chance in the industry. Joe, my boy. I don't know if you was around when I was having this conversation in 2017. When I said his rise was unnatural and there's something else behind this shit. But Ronnie might still not believe me, but
no, I mean
they changed the rules at the Grammys for this man.
Yeah, like he was well positioned. Let's say that. Yeah.
I've never seen somebody. He was Lee said, I've never heard anyone ABC 1, 2, 3 a double time verse before, but Chance did it. Man's found the bottom of the bottom. Blair said Chance been a plant. That nigga had all of his publicity before he even dropped it out. Now, so what I will say is this: like, I heard about him on Acid Rap, and he was like just a tier below where Childish Gambino was. Childish Gambino pre-Atlanta, before black people actually fucked with him. They were like around the same space. And then he did that feature on The Life of Pablo, and that nigga was suddenly up there with Cole, Drake, and Kendrick. And it was like, that don't usually work like that. You don't just get one feature from Ye and suddenly skyrocket. So I was like, hey man, this shit don't look right. Something's off. And Ronnie ain't believe me at first. Chuck ain't believe me at first. There's a few people that was like, nah, man. He been working. I'm like, I ain't saying he ain't been working, but you don't just bubble that quick. He went from outside the club to being in VIP in like a matter of weeks. And then that nigga got the Grammy rules changed. He had that Kit Kat commercial. He was performing on Ellen, talking about if one more label try to stop me, it's gonna be some dreadhead niggas in your lobby with Lil Wayne. To, man, I love my wife. Man, I love my wife. Like, hey, bro, don't ever rap no more. I ain't never seen no shit like that, bro. This is you could do a case study on the rise and fall of Chance the Rapper. I'm not even bullshitting. I don't think there is ever in the 20 some odd years that I've been aware of like hip hop and its tiers and like really been looking into this shit. I've never seen anything like Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, we've never seen a rise and fall like that. Like, seriously.
Like, even the one-hit wonders, like, stayed around for a little bit after that. It just went from, like, he was the darling of the industry to, like, Beyonce coming up and hugging this nigga on camera to, like, hey, bro, stop rapping. like, quick. It was like, hey, stop. We don't want to do that. We don't want to hear that no more. Like, nah, bro. Nah, we'll always have acid rap. We'll always have the what was it, Surf, the Social Experiment Project.
Yeah, Surf.
Yeah,
I like 10 Day too. 10 Day was cool. That was like his very first one.
Yeah, but nah, fam. Go love your wife. We don't rap no more. This isn't what you do.
Nah.
You knew his fame was over with when his brother like came out as like bisexual, and like it looked like he was finna have a little buzz, and the industry was like, no.
Let's not even chance it. No.
Yeah, like we don't even really like your brother like that. Apple was just paying us to. You simmer down. Like they had that nigga on Wild It Out. It was like, I ain't heard from that nigga since. Yeah, nah, fam. Nah.
Man, such your ass there.
Hey. Go back over there, Chance. We wasn't really fucking with you to begin. What did the Celtics win?
Yeah, man. I'm watching it right now. That boy Tatum went off.
I'm delighted because like not taking anything away from the Bucks, but game 3 and game 5. Yeah, game 3 and game 5 should have been won. So please put these niggas away.
Well, I mean, but game 4, y'all should have lost, so it was kind of even. Like y'all made a hell of a comeback in game 4. So
that ain't how I look at it.
I mean, you said Celtics in 7, so
you're right.
0-7, and
you're right.
Dog, yeah, Tatum 46, 9 and 4.
But this series is like the opposite of the fucking Suns and the Mavs, where like the home team dominates every game, and here the road team just be coming out cooking. So I don't know. In game 7, hopefully the trend don't continue where the away team cooks.
Please find Scott Foster something to do for game 7. Like don't let.
He in COVID protocols. He was supposed to ref tonight, but he had to get replaced because. You know, he caught that Rona.
Damn, that mean Chris Paul might actually get out this run.
Somebody said the same shit. They like, hey, Scott Foster was waiting to ref game 7. Like, hey, he probably text Chris like, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. You know the vibes.
Say yeah, nigga, 77 calls about to go get your way.
he probably text Chris the eye emoji like, yeah. Yeah, you know what's up.
Hey, text that nigga. Hey, after the game, you up?
Scott Foster at his hotel room right now taking COVID tests. Like, nah, I need to get negative for this, baby.
I got to be ready.
I got to stop this. Yeah, nah, man. Shout outs to Jason Tatum, man. Doing Marcus Smart with 21, Jaylen Brown with 22.
Hey, that boy Marcus Smart, he made up for that for what he did at the end of the last game. That man was 4-4 from 3 in the first quarter. Like he was hooping.
Or 5, but yeah.
I was so mad at that nigga because those last 2 possessions is easily the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life.
Well, really,
like,
it was the 3 plays where the free throw rebound where he just comes running in, knocking the ball out of somebody's hand, the block shot, and then the turnover. Like, because y'all still could have won because Tatum was wide open for the 3 when he was bringing the ball down the court.
Like he looked up a second too late, and Drew was like, "Gotcha, bitch."
Yeah, Drew, like, nah, that.
It was like, hey, let me see that.
Right to you, then.
Let me see that. Yeah, all right, got you. Yeah, hey, nah, man, nah.
And that was like perfect to perfectly illustrating our tweets from earlier that day on why this nigga was in my top 5 most hated NBA players because of shit like that right there. Like, why are you doing that?
You went all time. I went like current. Like, nigga, my current is Gobert, AD, Cody Martin, Devontae Graham, and Chris Paul.
Speaking of, to close out, I got a little. I was like in the middle of a meeting at work today. I shouldn't say this out loud, and it was so boring that I started to compile this list. So I'm gonna read this list for y'all. My most hated NBA players of all time: Danny Ainge, the player and the GM; Reggie Miller, Andre Miller, Eric Snow, Keith Bogans, Bobby Portis, Doug Christie, Tony Battie, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone, John Stockton, James Harden, Bruce Bowen, Dwight Howard, Pat Beverly, Wes Matthews, Kwame Brown, Smush Parker, Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, Bob Cousy, Bill Walton, Rudy Gobert, Brandon Ingram, LeBron James, Derek Fisher, Karl Anthony Towns, Dwight Howard, Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer, Austin Crozier, Aaron McKee, Ruben Patterson, Samaki Walker, Sean Marion, Tim Thomas, and Kerry Kittles.
What the fuck you hate on Kerry Kittles for?
Kerry Kittles got to catch a straight. Nah, he got to catch a straight, man.
That nigga got a list of fucking 40 players, bro.
Hey. I hate Keith Bogus. I hated Gar Forman the job. Like, whenever somebody say Derrick Rose didn't deserve his MVP, Keith Bogus was the starting shooting guard on that team. And his backup was Ronnie Brewer.
Ronnie Brewer with the broke.
That's nasty.
Oh my god, bro.
Lee said I knew Chance was different when he had folks bopping the nana boo boo bars.
I'm glad I never got on that wave, bro.
Hey, listen, don't go listen now, but acid rap was actually fire. Like, I
heard people like tell me that, but like sometimes when I just miss the wave,
I
don't try to go back and catch it. I'll be like, oh, I just missed it. I'm not knowledgeable on that.
Yeah. Don't do that. I still wish we would have got a like pre-Atlanta, pre-Life of Pablo, Gambino, and Chance.
Yeah.
Collab project, because favorite song is fire. Like that's probably my favorite Chance record. His favorite song. But yeah, nah. I might end up like if Chance drop another freestyle, I'm selling that acid rap vinyl. Like I can't have that in my house. You can't be out here being that trash and have a physical project sitting in my living room. We can't do that.
You gotta get that out. Nah. Yeah,
that shit was $40, nigga. Like that it ain't like that shit was cheap, but it's like I might have to get my money back and go on about my business, man. That shit was ass. Oh shit! All right, we got anything else?
Nah, man. I think that's it.
Nah.
This has been a banner fucking episode. This nigga Joe coming on for 2 seconds, going on mute for the whole fucking time. Y'all still doing the show on Hulu?
Yeah, so we're gonna do the recap for like the last 2 episodes, and that should be ready on Monday.
All right, and then what? Next week is the Obi-Wan shit, right? Or is it a week after?
Week after. I think it's like the 26th, 27th, 27th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So we'll be back with that. KidsWearCrowns.com. Cop a shirt. Twitch.tv/feedbaby. Check him out. Trying to get to 150 subs. I got to get back in the comments myself. I've actually had to work at work this week and earn my paycheck.
How dare they?
Nigga, I ain't had to do that in like 8 months. Nigga, it's new to me. Actually, you know what? I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't had to do that in like two years outside of the 6 months where I was a manager last year. But it's cool. They paid me enough. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. 1,
2.